Hey, my name is Fred. I make 500 grand a year in profit with my consulting business, and what you're watching right here is a daily video series where it always follows the exact same structure, meaning that I start by answering some questions. So on this channel right here that you're watching, if you go down into the comment section, you can ask me anything about your business, your offer, anything you need some help with, and then I'll answer a question just like Riot and OJ here. And then next on the agenda, I run you through some business stats, meaning that I'll show you the exact day-to-day growth of my business. So both in terms of audience size, emails, growth on the social side of things, but also how much money the business is doing every single day. And then last but not least, I'm just giving you some live kind of like brainstorming and strategy sequence on how I'm planning to take my current 500 grand a year profit business to 2 million a year. I've already taken one of my previous businesses to 2 million a year, my first ever coaching business, but I had 14 full-time employees, a profit margin of 36% that I shared with a 50-50% business partner. So it was a great experience, but I also realized, most importantly, how I did not want my life and business to be. So a lot of positive things, but now I'm yapping too much. So let's get into the questions, people. That's what you're here for, eh? The first one is from Riot here. He says, "Hey Fred, loved your video on growth operating, by the way. Literally the only one that made sense. I really appreciate that, man. To the people that don't know, I started my agency only offering short form content 4 years ago to personal brands. Then became decently good at that and scaled my agency to 15 grand a month, only offering short form. I had 5 editors from Pakistan, and we were producing around 400 videos a month for personal brands. And then I combined my short form organic agency with a guy called Jeppe and his paid ads agency for coaches. They built funnels, I did the organic. We merged the business together. Then we operated that combined growth operating agency. Back then we just called ourselves like a full stack marketing agency partner kind of. And then we pivoted that business into a coaching business that taught people the growth operating model. Because we were tired of all of our clients being so slow at delivering, and we were at revenue and profit shares with these people. So we were like heavily depending our business's success on the clients. And then I scaled that first coaching business that I mentioned in the intro to 2 million a year, 200 grand a month, but shut that down and then took the skill set and now digital coffee. So sorry for giving you my life story, but it's core for you to understand where I'm coming from with growth operating. I've basically just been a full stack agency partner and been operating coaching consulting businesses now for the last 4.5 years or something, which is pretty cool. So now you know why I did videos back then, unlike the agency model, right? But Riot here has been grinding this model for 3 months now. Had a few calls, dropped some looms, but no signed clients yet. Not gonna lie, starting to wonder if I should keep pushing or pivot. For context, I'm a developer with 5 years experience. Honestly, my dream is to join your agency. Applied back when you were hiring and even reached out on LinkedIn, but guess it got buried in DMs, lol. Yeah, sorry, brother. It sounds crazy, but I get it. I'm fortunate enough to get a lot of messages, and I'm really bad at checking them because I don't have a setter. I don't have a person on my team. So always reach out to my email, frederick@thedigitalcoffeeshop.com. My email inbox is the only thing that I check every single day and reply to. Because it's where I get my clients, because I always send out offers and ask if people need help, and I make my call to action marketing to the people on my newsletter. So that's why, brother. It's nothing personal, sorry. I'm super keen to bring my development and growth operating skills to a team if there's ever an opening. I appreciate you, brother, but if your dream is to become self-employed, I wouldn't quit on that dream 3 months in, but I'll give you a better answer. I'll just read the thing out loud here. Was also thinking about making content, but got 0 ideas, and I suck at it, to be honest. I appreciate all the free value, absolute legend. Thank you, brother. PS, your IG link seems broken, by the way. I'll check on that. I think, brother, please don't, all of the things in life that you tell yourself, so like the thoughts that you have and the things that you say about yourself inside of your head, and when you look yourself in the mirror, will always come true. So if you tell yourself that you suck at content, then you'll suck at content. If you tell yourself that you're a content creator at heart, you speak your truth and values, you're good at talking to a camera, you're worth listening to, you'll become good at content, and it will be your reality. Then of course you can look at the cards that you have on your hand, your skill set, your experience, and then ask yourself, am I in a position now where it makes sense for me to create content? 3 months experience with growth operating, that's probably not what I would share content about then, because you only have 3 months experience. But 5 years as a developer, brother, there's definitely something very positive there. But let's get into the question here. So it's basically just starting to wonder if you should keep pushing or pivot. Great question. I think in life and in business, we're always defined by our choices, right? And not our options, meaning that people will only ever see the decisions that you made and not all of the options that you had available. It was Alex Hormozi who said it, and I think it's an incredible quote because like we always have so many different things in front of us that we can continue to do or try something else or push back or push forward. But at the end of the day, people will only see the result of it. And I think, brother, here it's like whenever I'm debating with myself to continue something, to scale something, to double down on something, I always try to combine my emotions with logic, meaning that for the logic side of things, I like to set myself a time frame, right? Meaning that, let me see if it is, yeah. So like I always set myself a time frame, meaning that I have a deadline, an exact date or a time period, depending on the thing that I'm testing, defines the time frame. If it's an offer, I can usually test an offer and see the effect of it through like a 7 days email sequence. So like that can take a week and I can validate the offer, see if it's something people want. If it's, for example, for a new YouTube concept, so like a video style on my channel, I cannot test it in 7 days because there would only be 1 to 2 video uploads, which is not enough. So there I would probably say 6 uploads in the next 90 days and then compare the new initiative, a new concept on YouTube with my baseline, which is how I'm doing things now. And then based on that result at the end of the period, I would, which is the second thing, look at my input, the thing that only I can control. And then I would look at the output, right? So like what did the input give me? And then I would basically like ask myself, continue or feedback or delete basically. So I think, brother, that's what you need to do here. It's that you're not specific enough here, brother. It's like I've had a few calls. Is it 2 calls? Is it 10 calls? Drop some looms. Have you sent 10 looms? Have you sent 1,000 looms? It's like we need to be specific with the numbers here because or else it's gonna be fluffy. So if I were you, bro, I'd be like, is the growth operating model, does it work for someone else? Yes, it actually, like it does, it 100% does. Is it a high skill or low skill business model? It's probably one of the highest skills out there because it is you operating an entire business, because you're not just a sales agency, you're not just a content agency, you're not just a appointment booking agency, you are everything because you're growth operating, meaning that you're running the operation, right? Which is very high skill set. So I'd probably look at see if it's worth it, brother, to be a full stack, or if you should niche down and then like offer a certain one thing that you're strong at to a certain group of people. And that is where I got the idea. Now that you said that you're a developer, brother, if I had developer skill set, I wouldn't go into marketing an agency and these kind of things. The reasons why I do what I do is that I've been writing and communicating and talking and making a living from working with people my entire life, you know, and it comes very natural to me. It's what I enjoy. So that is what I'm good at, and that is what people come to me for. The backbone of a digital coffee shop is content, branding, communication, and making a living, aka 500 grand a year, from your ways of doing things, your skill set. That's why people come to me. They don't come to me for technical shit like developing or how to use AI or automations or systems. Other people are way better at me there. So I think, bro, like realize the fact that you have an incredible skill of like being a developer. So like how can you combine if you have an interest in the info consulting space with your developer background? That's what I would dive into if I were you. And then I would set yourself a time frame with a set of deliverables, inputs from your side. And then after the time frame, I would look at the output and the current situation that you have there, and then determine, is this something that I want to continue with? Is it something that I want to tweak and iterate and then continue? Or is it something that I want to pivot away from? But remember, bro, it's like 3 months only in and these kind of things, low amount of inputs, in my opinion, from what you say. So that's my answer to you, bro. That's how I'd go about it. And to anyone else watching, in terms of like, how do you determine if an opportunity is great, bad, up, down? Like always look at what you enjoy and what you want to do, and then pair it up with some numbers and specific things, right? The next question here is from Jonathan. Brother, I love your videos. I watch them all the way from Brazil. I just wanted to make a suggestion. Is it possible to enable automatic dubbing and set it to Portuguese? I really appreciate it. Thanks. That is a great shout. I had no idea that you could do that. But now that you say it, I remember watching, I think, a Spanish video where it was dubbed, and I realized only like 2 minutes into it, which is kind of criminal. But yeah, Jonathan, I'll look into it, brother. It's a great suggestion. Thank you, man. Then we have a comment here from NY, 600 followers, and bro thinks he's a guru. That's what you happen. That's what happens, people, when you put yourself out on the internet. It's that there will always be comments like this. The most important thing is that you don't let the comments get to you. Like I am yet to experience a negative comment from someone who was doing better than me. It's always from people that envy the things that you do and deep down wanted to do the same things. Probably NY here wished that he was creating content and documenting his business and these kind of things. And it's a lot easier for him to point at me and say, this guy is a scammer, this guy is a guru, this guy thinks he is something, rather than looking inwards and doing the work himself and hopefully harvesting the fruits from it. So never let these kind of comments get to you, people. You'll get a lot of it when you, I'm not saying that everyone will get the comments and these things, but the more you put yourself out there and the bigger reach that you have, the more bad things also follows along. But usually the good things outweighs the bad things. And when I say usually, it's usually when your goal and ambition and the reasons why you're doing things is greater than the bad comments. But it's just how it is, and I think this is a good example. And Riot, for example, Riot here says, so he has a main channel with 9k followers. This account is like daily updates and communication with audience. Also, he's showing his daily profits, and he's making 2 to 4k per day. You think he's a scammer, lol. And I appreciate Riot for having my back, but always, people, never ever spend a second on it. Like, the only reason why I answered this question was to show you that it can happen and how I think about it. But never spend a second on negativity, people. It's never worth your time, brother. Like, we're only here once. We only have one life. Why would you ever listen to negativity when you can just skip it and then move forward? And moving forward, that is what we're doing. Because now, people, there's no more questions. I appreciate the ones that were there. And now it's time for the next step, which is business stats here, people. So I open up the sheet that I fill out every single day, and then I just make a new date here. And then I fill it out, and we start with daily updates, which is at 687. Then we dive into the growth of my main YouTube channel, which is currently sitting on 9,287. There we go. My Instagram is currently on 26,623. Beautiful. My newsletter is currently sitting at 1418. I haven't sent an email in quite some time, so today, when I send an email campaign for the first time in a long time, I had a handful of people unsubscribe, which is very normal, very, very normal. And then, people, yesterday, 0, which is the first time in, let's see here, 23 days that we have 2 days in a row with no money made, which is kind of normal for me here end of month, because I usually have the majority of my transactions in the first 2 to 3 weeks. 2 weeks mainly, because that is where I usually do my client intake, and it also fits with when people start around that time. They usually do like the payment in the first 1 to 2 weeks, and then I have the kickoff call, meaning that when people renew or continue working with me after the initial 90 days, then that's also where the renewal and the payment plan extension and these kind of things. So that's why end of month is always a little bit slower, which I of course have expected, right? Because I can, like, you can literally see, I can always see my monthly recurring revenue here, which is at the moment 39k, right? So that is it, people, for business stats. Numbers looking good. Good is relative. Like, I should probably, I'll do a segment where I deep dive into them. But I think, people, for strategy, I think some mindset here, people, with the bad comment, and like also Riot's question in terms of like, should you continue, should you do this and this and that, and I think a lot of it, people, comes down to really just like, if I were to boil down like the bad comment, but then also that question is like, it's just about having the right goal. With the right goal and with a strong enough reason why it is that you show up to work every single day, any bad comment is basically, it has nothing on you, kinda. That sounds better in Danish, but with the big enough goal, then you can basically deal with anything else in the middle ground. And also with a big enough goal, then I think I would never question my journey like Riot did with that question. It's very fair that he does. It might be the fact that I'm a bit older or whatever it might be, but I think I'm so clear on where I'm going, and I know exactly where I want to be. And I think that's why it makes it easy for me to, for example, whenever I'm doing something and testing something that takes a very long time to test, for example, like a YouTube strategy, because YouTube projects are like a few videos coming out over like a longer time duration. Like for example, in a month we upload 6 to 8 YouTube videos. It's not a lot of data. It's very, very hard to determine if something is working or not. It's fully organic, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of hours, takes a lot of investments, money, time and energy to put into like bigger projects. But when you know exactly where you want to be, it's like I always try to flip it around a little bit, and then I try to ask myself, with the goals that I have for my business, with the goals that I have for my life, with the things that I want to achieve, am I then posting 2 great YouTube videos per week? And the answer is always yes, right? Like when I want to be an author and I want to write books, when I want to do more public speaking gigs, when I want to grow my brand, when I want to have impact on people and grow my business and get more clients and better clients, of course, having a great YouTube channel with awesome videos going out 2 times per week is a part of that equation. Could I do it without it? Probably, but does YouTube help incredibly from what I know and what I see when it is that I put effort into it and it shortens the sales cycle? Hell yeah. So it's like always people trying to find this like bigger goal and like ultimate vision up here in terms of where it is that you're going, because it makes everything else on the journey so much easier and so much easier to deal with, because you know exactly where you are, you know how to measure it. So I think that's what I want to end today's daily update video with. I don't have a lot of interesting today because it's Saturday and not a lot of things happen today. I try to take my weekends pretty slow because usually my regular week is very, there's a lot of things happening with content and clients and projects and businesses and these kind of things. So I always try to slow down on the weekends and not have any client calls. I still check in with clients on text, but no calls. So yeah, people, set a big goal, have a good vision. Everything else will become a lot easier towards that. So thank you for watching today's daily update, and see each other tomorrow.